Welcome back to Heather's Mom's House, everybody. And if you don't know who Heather is, that probably means you haven't seen the first part of this series. This is going to be a 4-part series, and this is the second one. So I would go start with that one just so you get a little bit better background on what I am doing at this house and a little bit of Heather's story, because I'm just going to jump right into what I'm doing here today, which is going through the holiday stuff, because this is what Heather wanted me to do while she was gone. She was in Cabo San Lucas celebrating her 50th birthday. She's got friends down there that she considers her second family, and it had been a while since she'd been down there, so she really needed to get away. And she especially needed to get away because of all that she's been dealing with the last few years, with the loss of her family members and then inheriting this house and figuring out what to do with that. And anyway, she just really, really needed a vacation. And in fact, she ended up extending her trip. So this is August 28th that I'm working here, and she was supposed to be home on August 26th. So I thought she was going to be there at the time I was going through all this. But since she wasn't, I texted her and just asked what she wanted me to work on, and this was it, because she said that she needed to go through these items to figure out what's sentimental and what she can get rid of and all that. And it was just going to be easier if I could organize it first. So that's what I am doing here. So the first step is always just trying to figure out what we have and how much of everything we have. So I am just pulling everything out of the totes, out of the bags, seeing what's there, and then grouping it together into categories like wreaths and garlands and candles, signs, door decor, platters and dishes, wrapping paper. And then, of course, not all of this is Christmas stuff. There is a little bit of Halloween and other holidays, but the majority of it was Christmas, and I think that probably is where the majority of the sentimental stuff would be. So hopefully this made it easier for her to go through and decide what really she can keep after it's all grouped together, because I think that makes it a little easier to decide, do I really need all of these wreaths, or can I just pick out my favorite one to remind me of Mom and donate the rest or sell the rest, or whatever you decide to do with them. But it just makes it easier when you can see it all together. And I had this thought come to me as I was working at Heather's house, or her mom's house. You know what? I'm just gonna say Dorothy, because that was her mom's name. So at Dorothy's house, but I'm sure that this is really difficult for anybody who's lost someone to decide what to keep and what they can get rid of. And it brings up all those emotions. So I think a lot of us have heard the advice, well, just take a picture of the things that you can't keep before you get rid of it so you can remember them, which is great advice. And I think that's a great idea. But the other thought I had was, why not take video of going through those items? Because as you're going through it, you can kind of process those emotions and figure out what is keeping you from letting go of those things. And anyway, just something that you could look back on and have a little bit more than a picture. So just a thought that I had. And it's funny because this actually came to me because a few years ago, when my parents were trying to get rid of some of the stuff from our childhood, we had a lot of stuffed animals, and those are kind of hard to get rid of. I think for everybody, for some reason, stuffed animals, they have like a little life to them. So it's a little bit hard to get rid of. And what we did was just set up a camera and we went through the stuffed animals together, or as siblings. And it was so much fun just to take that little trip down memory lane and remember or who gave us the stuffed animal and why we had it and what it meant to us, and the haircut that I gave my bear Russ and why I thought he needed a haircut. Anyway, just, all the memories associated with it, with those items. So it was just fun. And I actually ended up turning that footage into a digital copy a few years after we filmed that and sending it to my siblings. Or no, I think I burned a copy of it for each of my siblings. Or whoever was it, I can't remember exactly. But anyway, I turned it into a Christmas present. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that photos are great. I think video is better. So I hope that helps somebody out there to let go of some items you've been maybe hanging on to and gives you another option to remember them. Okay, now back to the video. So I thought I was done with the holiday decor, but then I remembered there was all this stuff out in the family room area that I had completely forgotten was out there. So I texted Heather and said, is there a reason this is separated or can I combine it? And she said, go ahead and combine it. So I didn't show that part, but I did take it back there to add it to what I'd already organized. And then I'm just going to tidy up this room to make it look a little nicer for Heather when she gets back so that it's not just chaos. Because if you watched the first video, you'll remember my mom and I at the end of the video were going through these leggings and hanging up some of the shirts and things like that. So we had left it like that, but hadn't really decided what we were doing with it. So anyway, I'm just trying to go through and label everything, see what's there, see what's new with tags, new without tags, the used stuff. Anyway, you'll see my labels at the end of this segment. Okay, I have to laugh looking back on this footage because we had no idea what we were in for. So it's kind of hilarious that I'm trying to separate these leggings into athletic leggings, more like the buttery soft leggings, solid colored leggings, things like that. And I had no idea how many leggings we would come across, and that in the end, it wouldn't really matter whether we had them all separated or not, because, I'm not going to spoil it, but it's just funny looking back on this because I'm like, yeah, that was kind of a waste of time, but that's okay. We live and learn. After I finish sorting through this bag, I'm going to start bringing out the... Sorry, I just got distracted because I realized I'm bleeding. So I got to figure out why my face is bleeding. Probably because I picked it while I wasn't even thinking about it. But anyway, I was going to say I was clearing room to bring out the wrapping paper. That's what that is. And all the holiday bags and to sort those out. So I'm just going to start by separating the gift bags from the tissue paper, from the boxes, and then the regular wrapping paper. And then I'm not going to get super crazy with organizing it because there's just not time to get super crazy with that. But this is similar to the way that I store my gift wrap and gift bag stuff at home is, especially with the gift bags, I will store them within another gift bag. And that just makes it easy to identify if it's Christmas or all of a sudden I'm blanking on other other reasons to have gift bags. Birthdays, that's a good reason for a gift bag. And what else? Weddings. Yep, that's something. And of course, baby gifts. And I'm curious as to how many people recycle their gift bags and how many times do you recycle them? Because for my Christmas gift bags, they are recycled a ridiculous amount. There's so much tape on them and the labels because, it's not always to the same person every year or from the same person every year. So we have to change the labels on them. And yeah, there's a few I should probably let go of, but it's so hard because I don't like to waste stuff like that. I even tried one year to get everybody on board with doing the fabric wrapping that I think it's a Japanese thing. I actually just paused to look it up, and yes, it is a Japanese thing. It's called furoshiki. I probably said that wrong, but that's okay. I'm not good at accents or pronouncing words in general. So, but yes, that idea was shot down because everybody wanted the feeling of actually ripping off the wrapping paper. Like, that's so much fun to them that they shot down my idea of fabric wrapping. But one of these days, dang it, I'm gonna make it happen. Okay, here is a little tour of the storage area with everything organized. So all the Christmas stuff together, and ideally this would all be in clear bags or containers, but I just have to use what I have. So anything that wasn't clear, I did put the date that I organized it on there. So that 8/28/24 is the date that I organized all this. Just so if there are any other labels on there, whoever goes through that box next knows that the last time it had been gone through was that date. So if that makes sense. There was some of this that I did combine, like the Easter and St. Patrick's Day and what other holiday is around that time? April Fools? Just kidding. There's nothing for April Fools, really. But there was just so little of that stuff that I just combined it all into one container. And then, that was just some flowers, potpourri, and decorative stones. So there you go. There's a before and after of that storage area. And just a different angle on it. I wanted to get that stuff on the right side organized, but was never able to get back to it. And then I'm just going to show you some of the labels that I made for the stuff out in the family room area that I organized. And you can see these are very temporary labels. I just wanted to make sure that I had everything clearly marked so that if Heather came back and was working on stuff, she knew what was what and what I'd gone through and all that. So I'm just going to give you a before and after of this area. It's not really an after so much as we cleaned it up, or I cleaned it up, made it a little tidier so that Heather came back to a little bit tidier space. And now we're moving on to her mom's room, or I should say her mom and her stepdad's room. Although I would say about 90% of the real estate in here belonged to her mom. You'll see what I mean. She had a tremendous amount of clothes. I'm not even sure where all of the stuff in the bags came from, if they were from this room, if they were gathered from another area. I don't know, and I didn't ask, so I don't know where all those fit because it seemed like the closets and the drawers and everything were just chock full in here. So I'm not sure where those came from. So I'm just going to start by pulling some stuff out of this room. So I've got some space to work in here. And then I'll actually be telling you in real time or while I'm there. I decided to just stop and let you know what the plan is kind of throughout this day. Okay, I'm just going to let you know what my plan for right now is. It seems to always change, but for now, I'm just making some space in here to be able to set things up to organize what's in here. Things that have already been gone through and organized into the bags that are on the floor. I'm just taking to another room and putting them in, like categories, just to group everything together in one place. And then, yeah, that's step one. Oh, and so these are going to be like for, dirty clothes, sheets, whatever I'm finding here that needs to be washed and dealt with, because I don't know if they're being kept, if we're putting them in the yard sale, if we're donating them. I don't know yet until I can ask Heather. So yeah, I'll probably need a bigger bag than that. But yeah, things evolve as we go. So yeah, that's what I am doing right now and responding to texts. That one is not, it doesn't have a label in it. So I am guessing it's just shoes. It's not like a specific category of shoes. So I'm going to just throw shoes in there. Okay, now I'm armed with 3 different types of bags. So I'm gonna use clear for a lot of stuff just because, oh wait, I don't think that's actually garbage bags. Oh yes it is. They're just really big ones, so not those. I'm gonna go find those. This might be too big. Let's see. Anyway, I'm gonna use clear bags for a lot of stuff just because you know what's in it without having to label it. But I'm thinking I'm gonna hold off using the black ones because those will probably be donate and I don't know what's being donated yet. So we'll see. And then everything else I'll just put in here and label. Okay, gotta find the other garbage bags. There's so many of these new with tags items. I'll be switching back and forth between my 360-degree camera and my other camera just to give you an overview of everything that's going on. And but I try not to repeat too much of what's going on. So anyway, just to give you a different angle on things. Okay, so I bagged up the pillows that were up here and now, or like just the ones without pillowcases. And now I'm going to bag up just some of these pillows, and then I'm looking at this thinking there's a lot of curtains up here, so I'm going to put those all in one bag, and yeah, that's our next step. Even though I'm putting these pillows into a clear bag, I am still going to label it that it was from her mom's bed, just in case there was a special reason why they were there. I'm basically just trying to create a flat surface to sort things on. So yeah, that's what we're trying to get down to. All right, another clear bag. And I need to keep that in my pocket so I don't lose it. See, this is half my problem is I misplace the stuff that I'm using. So I need to designate a spot for all of my supplies. Not to sound cheesy, but I feel pretty honored that Heather is letting me do this in her mom's room while she's gone. She's still in Cabo. And yeah, because I know how much her mom meant to her. So for me to be sorting through her stuff, I'm sure it's probably taking a lot of trust to have someone else do that. Really, we barely know each other. I already feel like I've known her forever, but it's not been that long. So yeah, I feel pretty honored that she trusts me enough to go through her mom's stuff. And I will try to keep that trust by not messing up anything that she had going here, and try to keep it somewhat as she had it, just to ask her about when she gets back. So yeah, anything that was on the bed, I kept somewhat together and just bagged up all together, even though I did organize it a little bit, but just to ask her about, because I had no idea if there was a rhyme or reason to anything she had laid out there. So I just labeled it from mom's bed and went with that. If these were all on hangers, I would puncture a hole and do that, but since they're not, I'm just gonna leave it like this and kind of tuck everything in there. Nice! We have a flat surface to now deal with the closet. Actually, we'll probably do the drawers first. All the leggings and things. Hi guys. I'm just kidding. Okay, so I think my next step is I'm going to get all of the drawers of leggings and tops and things. At least that's what I think is in all of these, and that's what I don't know. So I'm gonna collect all those, figure out if there is a reason why they're in different ones, like if there's like a season theme to them, or if it really was just like she just kept buying more and so she needed more drawers and filled them randomly. I don't know. So I'm going to bring them all together and see what we got here. New tags. Yeah, there are a lot of those and another new tags. So yeah, that for sure is just gonna go in its own section because it will join the other section of these items that are downstairs. So they'll be combined. I would really love the chance to talk to Heather's mom and understand the reason behind buying all the stuff and never wearing it. Like, there's got to be a reason. There's got to be, I don't know, there's probably some psychological thing to all of this, because I don't get it, but that doesn't mean it doesn't make sense to her. And if it's something that maybe one of my viewers has done, will you clue me in as to what that's about. I know I probably am sounding judgmental, but that's not what I'm going for here. I'm just trying to really understand the reasoning behind it. It's just fascinating to me. So, okay, these ones are used. So if I start dumping all of these drawers and they all end up being pretty much the same thing in each set of drawers, I'm just going to make piles of new with tag tops, new with tag bottoms, and then just tops and bottoms, and then let Heather decide what we're doing with those. So that's what I'm going to start with this one. I think Walmart made a killing off of her mom because most of these are the Walmart brand. You all know that I would love to pocket fold all these leggings, but we're not doing that today because we don't have time for that. So I might also make another pile that's just, obviously this is new because it's never been washed, new without tags. Those look brand new too, so new without tags. Okay, I'm gonna get something to label these piles. This is when I wish I could go back and tell myself, it's not gonna matter, Bonnie, don't even waste your time labeling all this. And then I'll put them in bags once I get enough. If you are here for the eye candy and all the beautiful clothing and the folding and perfect piles, there's a lot of that coming up in the next 5 minutes. And if that doesn't sound like your kind of thing, just try it. I think you might be surprised. I bet you can't stop watching. So the different piles you'll see me doing are just because they are different types of tank tops. And I wasn't even looking at sizes at this point because I figured they're all her mom's, they're all the same size, right? No, we'll get to that part later, but yeah, so some of them I folded that were, you know, the new with tags, the ones that were new, obviously, but had the tags taken off, and then the used ones is what I'm piling up there in the middle. Now, this is where you will see a little bit of repeat because it was too mesmerizing not to include this because it's so colorful and just, it's so beautiful to see it all come together. So I couldn't help but just put this in there twice from different angles, and I'm just going to shut up and let you enjoy it. Have you all been sufficiently hypnotized? Okay, good. Because now is the time to go hit that like button and subscribe, or check to see if you're still subscribed, because sometimes YouTube likes to unsubscribe you for no reason. Seriously though, if you would do that, I would really appreciate it. I would love to keep making content for you guys, and if I can't get my channel back to where it once was, I'm gonna have no choice but to quit YouTube, but I really would like to not. I want to keep making content. So if you would, please even share this if you could. And also let me know if anybody's interested in me making a video, kind of ASMR style, of stuff like this that I either put to music or not. I have a hard time picking out music, so I'm fine with silence and just watching it, but let me know if you'd like that and if you do, with or without music. Okay, now here come some of the categories that I put these into, like all the buttery soft leggings. There were a lot of those. Just leggings, I didn't know what to call them. They were just like different kind of leggings. And then the more athletic type leggings, the solid color ones, other bottoms that I found, and then shorts. So here's a top view of all of those. I love all those bright colors. And don't ask me why some of them are faced a different way, because I don't remember why I did that actually. I also don't totally remember why I had these separate. I think maybe because the other ones were used and these were new with tags or without tags. And by this point in the day, I was trying to figure out what I could do in the last hour or so that I had left. So I just decided to go through some of the stuff that was on the dresser and get that a little bit organized into categories. Okay, this might be dumb to start this right now, but I'm gonna start pulling stuff out of the closet. I've only got about 25 minutes before I have to go though, so we'll see what I can get done. Okay, and I'll show you why I'm taking everything out to uncover those, sorry, stuff like this, because I couldn't even see that under all the clothes. And now we're gonna get to the other side. See, look, all that stuff needs to come out. I had to laugh at a comment that somebody made on my video of my closet declutter and organization, because somebody was like, why so many clothes? And I wanted to say, compared to whom? Because compared to most of the people that I help, I have no clothes. But it's all subjective. I understand. I probably could pare down a bit because I do have more than I probably need, but it is definitely not this much. Okay, well, even if this is all I get to, is just getting everything out of the closet, at least that's somewhere that Heather can start if she wants to. And that's because I was still assuming at this point that she was coming home the next day, but that didn't happen, and we'll get to that. So here is what is coming up in next week's video. There's a lot more organization going on in preparation for the yard sale, and I took a bunch of stuff home to sort out, like the shoes and more leggings. And my mom is even going to come back and help me with some stuff and get ready for a pre-sale before the yard sale. So anyway, that is all in next week's video, and I'm just going to leave you with the beautiful pictures of the leggings that I folded in this one. So thanks for hanging out with me today, guys, and we will see you on the next one. Bye.